Hi guys, my name is Nonima Dikela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to talk about Gwabini and the arrest and Gininda and the so-called Section 204 cooperation situation. Okay? Before we do that, guys, please make sure you do not forget to like, to share, to comment, and most importantly, please make sure you are subscribed on the channel. Please make sure you are watching the videos up until the end and you are watching the ads that are coming through. When you are doing that, you'll be supporting this channel financially and in numbers. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right. If Gwabini was arrested, then his so-called Section 204 cooperation wasn't cooperation. It was leverage. Because once you arrest someone, every word they give you is colored by pressure. It's no longer free. It's no longer voluntary. And State versus Melani, 1996, any statement obtained under coercive circumstances is tainted and must be excluded. This isn't small technicality. This is a constitutional earthquake. Non-disclosure of witness arrest is not harmless, right? People may think. It strikes, is not harmless, right? It strikes at the heart of a fair trial, right under Section 35 of 3E, the right to effective cross-examination, because if the defense doesn't know the witness was arrested, they can't test motive, they can't expose bias, they can't uncover inducements or threats, they can't challenge whether the statement was made freely. That's textbook prejudice. That's classic unfair trial territory. That's narrative engineering, not justice. In the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial, this is massive. A hidden arrest and a clean statement. A Section 204 deal is still sitting quietly in the shadows. That's not just irregular. It could collapse the credibility of the state's key evidence. This isn't a crack in the case. It's a full faulty line. Full faulty line. What happens when the state hides the fact that their own Section 204 witness was arrested, all while selling his statement as clean and voluntarily? That's not a clerical mistake. That's a constitutional bomb. Under State versus Melani, 1996, any statement obtained under pressure, inducement, or obtained under coercion is tainted and must be excluded. If Gwabini is tainted, it and must be excluded. His statement, of course, from the one Gininda says he made, it must be excluded. If Gwabini spoke under arrest, the voluntariness of his cooperation collapses instantly. And the failure to disclose that arrest, that violates the accused's right to effective cross-examination under the Section 35, 3E. You cannot test bias, motive, inducement, or duress when the state hides the arrest that created them. This is not harmless. Ne? This is prejudice. This is the type of non-disclosure that can shake an entire prosecution. Because why did Baloyi not talk about this if he was aware? Let's give him that benefit of a doubt. If he was aware, why didn't he mention this? And at this point, we don't even trust Baloyi because if the state hid key arrest in the Senzo Meyiwa trial, that's not irregular. That's nuclear, guys. That's Ukraine. That's Russia and Ukraine borders kind of vibes. Do you understand this? The exclusion of evidence under under State versus Melani and 1996. Do you understand that? Okay, let's continue with the arrest bombshell because, wow. If Gwabini was under arrest when that statement was taken, his so-called cooperation was not cooperation. It was them saying, you are going to do this. You are going to do this. Once a person is arrested, the power dynamic shifts. Pressure is inherent. Fear and self-preservation kicks in. The voluntariness of any statement becomes instantly questionable. And in South African law, voluntariness is everything. And State versus Melanie talks about this a lot. And the case changes everything, that case, okay? The court was crystal clear. If the environment in which the statement is taken suggests pressure, coercion, or lack of free will, the evidence is tainted. And tainted evidence must be excluded. Not maybe, must be excluded. So if Gwabini spoke under arrest and the state didn't disclose that, the entire statement becomes legally radioactive. That one of Gininda, that one that Gininda claims that he has. This isn't a minor omission. This is a direct violation of Section 35(3)(e), the right to effective cross-examination. Why? Because if the defense doesn't know the witness was arrested, I already said they can't test bias, they can't explore inducement, they can't uncover pressure, they can't challenge voluntariness, they can't expose motive to lie. They can't. How can Gininda not tell us about this? Gininda, we are pepereza. He spoke. He spoke in that courtroom as if Mambo Pelele Mwen. Why didn't he say these things? A hidden arrest is 100% impeaching material. This needs to shake the entire case. If Gwabini's statement was not free and voluntarily, it doesn't just affect him, it affects the reliability of that testimony in that statement Gininda claims he has. The legality of the entire Section 204 process. A contaminated 204 witness is a collapsing pillar. And once the pillar falls, other parts of the case loses support. This is not crack. This is a full-blown faulty airline. Okay? They can't do that to us. And the bottom line is that if the state hid the arrest and relied on the clean statement, that's not prosecution, that's narrative management. Section 204 only works when the witness is clean. If he was cornered, pressured, or induced, the entire cooperation falls apart. And in this case, as fragile and politically loaded as the Senzo Meyiwa trial, this is massive, guys. They can't tell us otherwise. They must just forget about it. They must just forget about it. Because right now, we are dealing with tainted statement, Gininda. Your so-called Gwabini statement, it must be thrown out. It has to be thrown out. There is no way, no other way when it comes to it. There is no other way when it comes to it. There is no other way, guys. Anyway, drop your comments in the comment section. Let me hear your thoughts. I want to hear yours. Because now I'm saying, wow, what a wow. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.